With your puppy, you know, you probably started anywhere between, if you got a puppy from me, 8 weeks old to sometimes 14 weeks old before you had your ears cropped. So the most important thing with puppies is to make sure that they understand what the ear posting is. You say ear when you grab the ear so they know what part of the body. They learn it so that way they're not startled. And, you know, eventually they'll just sit still for the posting. She's one that's really good. You want to make sure you clean out all the crevices of the ear. I'm going to show you how to measure the back of rod, and I'm going to show you that you're not hurting your dog. You're not hitting, she's got a close-up there, into her eardrum or anything. Dogs have L-shaped ears, so their eardrum is way back here, and you're going straight down. So I'm going to hand the camera over to my son, and he's going to focus it on her, not me, on the ear. All right, so I'm going to pull the ear up really high as I measure because that's how I'm going to tape it to avoid pockets. You're going to put the backer rod all the way down as far as you can. Take your finger, slide it up so that way it's to the tip, and then that's where you're going to mark it, and that's where you're going to cut it. Usually dogs have similar shaped ears, so you can cut the backer rod the same. It's always better to have too much than too little because you can just snip the tops off. So you're going to have 2 backer rods like this. You're going to take your Zonus athletic tape and you're going to put it like this around one time, and then you twist it like this to make it go backwards because we want the sticky side up so that way it adheres to the ear. And you're going to just roll it as smoothly as you can. I go over it a couple of times because you don't want it to have too many ridges. And it also thickens it up so that way it stands and it has more of a firm hold. And as you get used to it, you'll be able to do it pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and roll these, and I'll post next video when we actually do the posting. So upon looking at Onyx's ears, I started noticing that she is getting some pockets developed. They do like to eat the old ear posts, so don't let them do that. But you can see here, she's starting to get some divots here. It's a little bit too deep, see, because I can put my finger in it. So we're going to put some bumper pads that's going to basically push that just a little bit more out so we end up with a like this instead of a this. So I'm going to show you real quick. Basically what you do is you take your backer rod again. You're going to cut off about 1.5 to 2 inches. Doesn't have to be precise with this because what we're doing is we're going to take our rod that I've already started to roll and we're just going to add this to it. Now I cut a little slant on mine to kind of fit into the canal. If you choose to do that, you want to make sure that you've got this face on the same side. This is the side that's going to go towards her head. So the bumper pad's going to be here, her head's here, and this is the outside of the ear. So you just continue to wrap, just wrap around the bumper. Onyx, you kind of moves. She says, I'm the star. So. And you can pull it kind of tight because it is kind of thick. But the back rod is squishy. So as I'm going over this, I'm kind of squishing it down so it's not quite so wild. Please excuse my mama dog that's barking out there. Okay, so I've got that like that. Now I'm going to make it sticky again. So that way this one adheres to the ear as well. So, I'm just going to show you real quick. Come here, Onyx. Come on. Come on. We'll do an actual posting in just a second, but I'm just going to show you that this part is going to face this ear. So you would insert like this. And that bumper is going to push that out. So you see how it kind of straightens it up. So I'll show you the rest of that once I get everything ready. I like to have everything prepared because they are puppies and they wiggle like that. Thanks.
Who's all going to see this?
Okay, so I've got my setup here. I do, for the puppies that have already had their ears set up, I mean the bases are standing, I only do the middle and the top of the ear, so that way they have more room to exercise the muscles in their head as they move it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Here, Onyx. All right, Justin, hold that. All right, so Onyx is going to have the bumpers. So I'm going to insert deep into the ear and make sure that the bumper faces the head. See? So pull the ear way up high and push down firmly. Because you don't want to have that pocket. You don't want your dog to go through all this and then still have pockets. Keeping your hand wrapped around, you're going to take your paper tape. Wrap always from back to front. So I'm going from the back of the ear towards the front because you don't want to make unnecessary folds or pain for the puppy. So you see how that bumper's smoothing out that edge. Dog has a natural fold here. You do not want to push that forward. You want to let it fold. So you take your longer piece of tape and always from the back forward. And it's not going to be it's not going to be tight. It's just snug. And so now we've got the bumpers here, and you can feel here and feel that the post is inside the ear pocket, so that way they don't, if your puppy is shaking its head and it's popping this out, then you don't have it deep enough inserted. So pull the ear up really high and then tape it. So we're going to do the other side. And as you can see, the setup this actually takes longer than the actual posting, especially once your dog gets used to it. I'm making sure that bumper's facing in. I'm telling Onyx, ear Onyx, and I'm pushing down firmly while pulling up. Sorry, Onyx, made me step on your paw. This ear, I did this post super long, so I'm having a lot to get up. But you just make sure that you pull that ear up really tight. Okay, so hold the ear in place, grab your tape. I'm just attaching it to the sticky part. Up high and wrap from back to front. And the tape will mess up and you just are going to squeeze it together. Now we got one more. Keeping the natural fold of the ear. I'm wrapping around firmly, but not tight. Doesn't need to be tight. All this is essentially is a fancy vine grower. If you've ever grown tomatoes or plants that are vines, we're basically giving the ear something to climb up. So when you get here, you can feel and see through this paper tape where her ear tip is. Come here, Onyx. She's trying to see the light. Put your finger over the tip so you don't accidentally cut it off.